morning. Why do you think that in spite of the fact that 70% people on the planet are not satisfied with the work, they continue to do it? Why every second someone lives in relationship which doesn't bring them love and pleasure? Why most people on the planet don't dare to change, and the most common regret of the dying is, I wish I had a chance to live the life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Please raise the hand if you are currently experiencing a radical change in your life. Those change which push us out of the comfort zone and have a potential to lead to the transformation. I see quite a lot of people in the room, and it's good, because most of the people on the planet are not satisfied with their work and with their life. But at the same time, 92% of all people do nothing in order to change their life day by day. I belong to these dissatisfied people too. But after 20 years in my corporate career, in the one step away from my own yacht, I dropped everything. But I didn't go begging for alms. I finally found my superpower, and I became the better version of myself. But in order to go through a transformation, in order to get your new ways to yourself, you don't need to give up everything. You just need to know a few new keys. What if I said that these keys could put you on the path to your personal growth, bypassing fears in your path? What if you knew that you tried once and afterward you would have to improve again and again in order to be the better version of yourself? Raise your hands, those of you who in the next 18 minutes want to know these 3 new keys for gaining your personal growth and finding your superpower. Wow. I see a lot of hands, and I would love it too. My name is Nadia Deshkovets. I'm a marketer by profession, and I'm a certified coach. I'm originally from Belarus, and I have been living in Vietnam for 6 years. Today, I want to share my personal story with you. A year ago, I embarked my life's greatest challenge. And for those of you who will stick with me to the end, there will be a bonus. In next 18 minutes, our body will create millions of cells. And millions of cells will die. We will rebuild skin the size of an eyeball. 3,600 children will be born. 1,100 airplanes will take off around the world. But you transform nothing in your life. Why? Because you are afraid. Fear is a fundamental, deeply wired, basic emotion that's not just given to us by nature. If it were not for fear, we would have ceased to exist as a species. Right now, my instinct of self-preservation says to me, Nadia, why did you go on the stage? They will eat you alive. You might ask, why do I need a transformation? If my fear tells me that I shouldn't want, I can tell you why. Because, in fact, you are not satisfied with some part of yourself. You may not get joy from every day. You may not like a person you will return to tonight. You may hate a job you will go to tomorrow. You may not understand your children. And most common of all regrets, you may feel that you cannot live as you want. But that's why we need changes. But in order to make changes happen, we need to come to the agreement with the fear. And I offer 3 keys to it. If someone gave me this 3 keys a year ago, I would have kissed him. But no, everything started wrong. In one very warm summer evening. No, it sounds like a beginning of the fairy tale. In reality, on one very gloomy morning, which I will remember forever, I closed myself in the company meeting room, expecting to hear the news about a very big promotion. To run out and say, hooray, big perspectives. I had worked diligently in my work, and I achieved a great success in the company. So a promotion seemed to be a guarantee to me. I remember very well how their phrase sounded on the phone. Plans have changed. We have nothing for you. At first, I didn't believe. I even asked, do that nothing mean nothing? Well, you know, sometimes people on the end of the line had bad diction. So maybe he wanted to say nothing outstanding, but something okay. But no, nothing meant nothing. Imagine, a second ago, I was a white collar who was going on top of the mountain, and I suddenly got thrown of it. Devastating news. I see some sympathetic notes in the hall. Have you experienced something like this too? At this moment, I found the first clue, the first key to fear, the first step from which my transformation began. I realized fear. I realized that everything was lost, that everything was 100% wrong. I realized that everything had plunged into darkness, that I did not decide anything myself, but someone had decided for me. It's the feeling that could not be confused with anything else. This feeling is a fear, and you need to admit that this fear is a call to changes. It's so loud that you need to use it. You don't need to reassure yourself that it's, you know, just it's not the right day. You don't need to say that you are tired, or it's not a call at all, but just rumbling in your stomach. You have to admit that this is a time to change something. Brave and simple at the same time, right? In my case, only when I decided that I need more for myself, and only I'm responsible for my destiny, I was able to listen to this call. Okay, you say, I admitted my fear, and I accept it as a call to changes. For some reason, no one rushed to me with their winning ticket for $1 million. Why nothing happened right away? But this is just the first key. Facing your fears and leaning into the situation that's uncomfortable. There are 3 of them, remember, and I will tell you about the second one. So you recognize your fear, and you know that you need to change something, that you're ready for change. But what did I do when my career collapsed? I tried to get it back. It's logical, yes, but it's really, really sad, because the majority of the population does the same things. When something pushes us out of our comfort zone, we pretended that nothing had happened. So we come back to what we know very well, knock on the same door and say, hey, mistake was occurred, my place is here. Personally, I passed 50 interviews in 200 days until I realized that something was going wrong. That's it. Every 4th day, I put my office shirt, sit down at the computer monitor, and argued that I could promote everything from pins to the nuclear warheads. All interviews did not end with what I hoped for, but I persistently arranged more and more. Now I know that I was on way to the second key to transformation, but it was something that nobody even hinted to me. When you experience this stage, you need to know a very important thing. It will feel bad, but it's good. Let me explain this paradox. When I was, for example, a very successful top manager, I continued to be invited to the parties, but I was afraid to go there. Literally, I couldn't force myself to leave my house because it was quite hard to say for the aperitif, hello, I'm unemployed, which means I'm nobody. All my acquaintances were sure that I feared the housewife syndrome. What I've learned from this situation is that their reaction did not allow me to stop. So it went on until very nice recruiter, let's call him Gautier, just suddenly asked me, hey, what motivates you? Of course, it's very important to promote your skills and achievement, but your values and your personality are what the most important. It was a bolt out of the blue. Imagine, in 20 years of my career, I have not found the time to determine who I am. So then I discovered the second key to transformation. You need to know who you really are. You need to find your personality and your values. You need to believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, no one will tell you what to do and how to live. It's not an easy task, right? So, and what did I do? I decided to leave the corporate world because it was not something who I was. I stopped the interviews, archived my resume, hung up my office shirt in the closet. My family was shocked. How will you support us? You know, my favorite example is from Christmas. Imagine, whole family at the table. And my tactful dad sums up a year by listening to everyone's achievement. When he gets to me, he says, and Nadia, she finally decided to become nobody. Yeah, great. So what he did not understand at this time is that I finally decided to become myself instead of nobody. So some advice to you who have making excuses for your parents, because they're so worried how you look in the eyes of society. But you don't need to worry how society sees you. What you really need to know is to find yourself. Dad, I hope you understand what I finally had ventured to do. So this constitutes the second key to transformation. To know and love yourself, to believe in yourself, and don't be afraid to do something different. For the first time in my 40 years, I allowed myself to be vulnerable, to be imperfect, allowed myself to make mistakes and enjoy the journey, not a destination. Because I realized that at the end of the road, I would definitely find treasures. And these treasures will be my renewed self, the better version of me. This is an amazing feeling that for some reasons I've never learned in the school. Now, if I had a chance to say something to myself 9 months ago, it would be, Nadia, don't be afraid. You will reap such a great rewards from what you are doing now. It's pain, but it's a part of the process. You will overcome it and you will be strong as you've never been. And you will get gifts. It will be a hidden treasure that you don't yet know. To be honest, there was a moment in my journey where I was really afraid that I could not be able to pay my bills. But if you do what you want, what you love, the money is always there. But that's another story. Let's summarize. Of the 3 keys to transformation, we already have 2 of them. One is to realize your fear and to accept it as a call to changes. The second is to believe in yourself and stop waiting for someone else's help. What next? When I told everyone that I was looking in search of myself, I didn't have any clear plans in my head. I'm not an Einstein, right? Who, by the way, said that the problem cannot be decided at the same level where it originated. Therefore, it's necessary to rise at least 1 level higher. I stopped sending my resume, and I began to create my future around the real benefits that I could bring to the people's life. What I can do more than my job, what lights me up, who else can benefit from what I'm good at. Then I decided to study other experience. I look around to those people who experience the similar transformation with me. Books, talks, interview with the real people, motivational speeches, mentoring, coaching, millions pieces of various advice. At this stage, I felt like a pupa who finally realized that it could become a butterfly. Nobody told me which color wings I might have, But the main thing is that the super goal appeared in my existence. And this is the third key to transformation. You need to find the landmarks in your dark, specifically to know what is your purpose. When I realized who I am and what my values are and what my purpose is, it made my life more focused toward the future. It made my life more meaningful. I gained confidence when I formulated my purpose. When I knew my purpose, I realized that everything that I have been doing the last 20 years is perfectly in line with my purpose. Of course, my job is a big part of me, but it's not all me. I'm much more than that. I have a super goal in my life to empower people to do more than they thought they could and to inspire their positive transformation. It kicked off the process of my conscious birth, a transformation of hard-working pupa into a butterfly, which lives its life consciously. I want to note that all these changes are not noticeable externally. Our skin is not younger, kilos don't disappear, but there is a very clear indicator that your transformation is going as it should. And that indicator is your children. Because they are not aware about your job perks and your status. They look at you as objectively as possible. And if you're unhappy, they will sympathize with you. But if you are happy, they will take you as an example. So you set an example for your children. Let's make a positive one. Show them the courage to find in your life what is really important to you. Show them how you take responsibility for your life and do something meaningful. My children witnessed my growth path, and I was so touched when they told me that they can use my example, my story, as a good example how to pursue your own passion. For this reason alone is worth making changes. And now, finally, the bonus that I promised at the beginning of my speech. This is advice for those of you who hold all the three keys. So remember, you already realized your fear and you accept it as a call to changes. You have self-awareness and you know your purpose. Now, activate them. I mean, take the first steps. Don't be afraid that nothing will happen right away. The darker the cave is where you are going through, the more treasure you can gain on the other side. The more you fear, the better result you will get. Looking beyond the cave and committing to my own transformation, I acquired my better version. The better version of myself. Strong and confident, respected by my children, full of purpose, and very focused on the super goal. These are the treasures that is worth making any changes in the life. The clock shows that my presentation is coming to the end. I know that something is thinking now, what she was talking about the last 18 minutes? What is such a transformation? Why these worries? And you know what? I understand you. I want to be in your place. I want to feel calm and confident. But if you feel discomfort, if you need more, if you crave for change, act. Act using these three keys. They are called the keys to transformation because there is a door that they open. Thank you.